Hello, everyone. Just checking to see how many people are actually coming into this today. So we've got 14 of you at the moment. We'll just give it a few more minutes and give a few more people some chance to join. So we are recording this as normal for anyone that is missing. Okay, so we're on 1302. Shall we make a start? Okay, so basically, my name is Lindsay. I'm one of the activation managers here at Regular Education. And what we're going to be presenting to you today on this webinar is we're going to be looking at the NSS survey, which I know impacts a lot of our higher education customers. We've got a Moodle update for you. And we've also got a little bit about the University Mental Health Day that is coming up on the 9th of March. So to dive right into the slides, we will have a look straight away at the NSS survey. So the NSS survey is one of the most important surveys for higher education of institutions. It's where we get all of our key information. It's where we get our statistics in the country for where we are. So it's important that we actually get our final year students to complete this and try to get as many of those final year students to complete this as possible. Gone are the days, unfortunately, where we can actually offer our students incentives, where we could give them vouchers or food or anything like that. We're not allowed to do that anymore. So we've got to be a little bit more proactive on our marketing with our final year students. So how can myday encourage students to engage with the NSS survey? So key thing here is if you're using myday within your institution as your one-stop shop for your students, then they're not having to remember any complicated URLs. We're not directing them to direct to the NSS survey, asking them to remember the URL. We're going to use myday. So the key thing here is we want to use myday and use the communication tools within myday. Most of your students will have the app downloaded to their phone. So what we want to try to do for the students is make the survey just one click away. Keep it as simple as we can. The methods we can use to communicate to our students. So I've picked out 3 here. There is another one that we are going to be discussing later on, but I wanted to leave that as a separate one for the moment. So we'll start off with our banner. This can be your visual image. This can be your colourful image that will direct the students direct to the NSS survey. So it's simply one click away. And remember, obviously your banner and your newsroom and your alerts can all be targeted to your final year students. So if you've got that grouping pulled from your Azure groups for your final year students, you can really take advantage of it here for the NSS. So using that audience targeting for your banners is perfect. It just makes it that survey one click away, a visual representation, and they're through. The other way you can do it is we have obviously the newsroom. So you can again create your targeted news feed to the final year students. And within that, create an article or a series of articles with links direct to the survey. And in the article, you can express to your students the importance of this survey. Let the students have their voice. Tell them that this is their opportunity to have their voice for the institution and also nationally. We all know students like to give their opinions, so it's always an advantage to tell them that this is their opportunity to use their voice and tell other students. Again, in the newsroom, you can use imagery. You can make it look really good and also use the high importance and the push notifications to emphasize that this message is a key one that your students need to engage with. There's also the alerts. Key thing with the alerts, remember, is if you are creating a channel for your final year students, to make sure that that final year student channel has been created at least 24 hours before you plan on sending your alerts. So that's your key piece of information there for your channel. But once you actually send your alert, you can send it to your audience. You can use the alert engagement reporting tool to see who has and has not engaged with your alerts. So it enables you to actually be able to pinpoint which students are not engaging, which students aren't looking at the alert, and you can actually target them directly and preempt them to actually complete the survey for you. So that's a really useful tool and one that is definitely worth utilizing. So we're going to move on now to our Moodle Connector. So for some of our users, you do use Moodle as your VLE, and there's been a little bit of an update to our Moodle Connector API. So it basically enables now the fact that you can just show active courses to your students. Before you showed all the courses to your students, whether they were active or not. Now we've got this little feature that you can simply enable or disable as you choose. And this is simply by accessing the control panel. So once you go into the administration area down the side, if you go to advanced, you want to click into your control panel and you want to click into the area for your connectors. Once you find your Moodle connector in there, it's just a case of clicking on the settings and you will get this page in front of you that we're seeing on the screen. So what you've got under all of your institution URLs, you've got this area which says active courses only. And this is just a simple click to enable or disable whether or not you decide you want to use it. So that's a nice little feature for those Moodle users to enable with your tenancies. And that is live now, so you can do that straight away. So we've got University Mental Health Day that is coming up literally around the corner on the 9th of March. I'm aware many institutions will be doing a lot of different things in-house in campus to promote this day. And also you'll have different events that you'll be carrying out on campus yourselves, probably independent of the University Mental Health Day, but relating to it as well. So again, another way that we can utilize myday to promote this event is our welcome wizard. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting out there a little bit of a poll to find out how many of our customers have actually used the welcome wizard and what sort of case scenarios you've used it for. So that's actually going out as we speak. So basically, what have we got here? We've got the University Mental Health Day. How do we promote this University Mental Health Day? We've discussed 3 very obvious cases where we've got the banner, the newsroom, and the alerts. But one extra one that you might not have thought about is obviously the welcome wizard. So the welcome wizard is something that is a CMS page, effectively, but you can create multiple pages filled with rich, specific images and rich text. You can also add in your resources along the way, so links to different resources. You can put as many pages as what you want or as little as you want. And it's a nice little way to navigate your students through a journey. So we utilize it in this scenario for the University Mental Health Day. And I just pulled some information from the website to get some slides together to kind of graduate you through your journey. The advantage to the welcome wizard, once you've created it, it's in your CMS, it's in your content area, in your welcome wizard area. You can implement this on the day. So basically all it is, it's a case of going onto your homepage, adding a content tile. And then when you go to your setup, you're choosing then your welcome wizard, and you're choosing your specific welcome wizard pages that you're wanting to upload. What then happens? The student will then get a pop-up on their screen, and they can then follow the journey through the welcome wizard. They've also got the advantage then they can actually re-watch it, because that resource can then remain on your dashboard. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to very quickly stop sharing, and I am going to pop onto a little bit of a demo to show you how it will actually appear on your screen. So just having a little look, quite a few of you haven't actually used the welcome wizard before. So it might be something you might want to have a look at and have a little play with. So this is one that I prepared earlier, a little bit of Blue Peter for you. Effectively, this has already been implemented onto a test dashboard that I've created, and this is how it would appear when it pops up. So as you can see, I've got the nice image there that I've pinched. I've got some basic information there, and also some links for free digital resources that are available on the website. And then you've got the next button, so it can take you through a nice little journey. Why should you join us? You get the mission statement there. And it's quite a nice tool to utilize. The students can't actually click off this until they actually proceed all the way through the journey. So then it gives them the option, they can click onto these different links, they'll come back then to myday, and they'll be straight back onto the welcome wizard exactly where they left off. Clicking next all the way through, and then once you are finished, it will then disappear. Now, the nice thing about this is it will actually appear on your screen. So I believe this is it. But you can actually just house it then onto your screen and keep it there, so then your students can go back and have a look at it at any point that they want to. So it's a really nice tool, a really nice feature to utilize. So let's go back to our presentation. It's something that we thought would be quite useful, particularly with it being a one particular day, because it can pop up on that one day and it obviously disappears as soon as the students have utilized it. So, any questions?
We've had a question in the Q&A as well from Cherry. Do you want me to read it out, Lindsay?
Yes, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So Cherry's asking, is it possible to export alerts engagement data so we can filter easily to see who has or hasn't responded? We have thousands of students, so it would be difficult to see who to target just on screen.
I believe you can export the data. Let me just double check that, but I do believe you can actually export the data from alerts into an Excel file. So let me just double check that is actually correct. So let me just go into alerts, and then I can find that detail for you. Right, let's have a little look. So under the alert engagement reporting, I will very quickly just share this. And you can actually download. So this is our demo site. This just kind of gives you a little bit of an insight. So you can actually download here. Yep, and then you actually get your nice little alert summary in a CSV file. So it is something you can download and get yourself a little file out of it. So yes, that is something you can do.
That's great. Thanks, Lindsay. We've got a couple more questions in the chat. So the next one from Charles was, does it work on the mobile app as well? I think that's referring to the welcome wizard.
The welcome wizard, yes, it should work on the mobile app too. It will work as a pop-up.
Cool. Hopefully that answers that, Charles. And then finally one from Sunny. Could you use the Welcome Wizard for surveys too? They're running a national survey for all students, but they do use it as a Welcome Wizard for new users.
You could, if you were a little bit clever about it, i.e. utilize the links element for it. It wouldn't retain data. So as an example, you wouldn't be able to put a question in and get an answer. And it wouldn't be able to retain that data. So you could actually create a link to another file that you would be able to get your survey data from. Does that make sense? So effectively, you could put all your information on there. You could put a link to an MS form if it's an MS form survey, and then it would take them out of the Welcome Wizard resource into the survey. And then when they return back, they would then actually be able to complete the Welcome Wizard and then return to whatever it is they wanted to do.
Cool, thanks. Just had a couple of responses about the alerts engagement and the downloading of the report. People are not sure that you can go as granular as individual users. So maybe that's something we can take away and have a look into for everyone and get back to you on.
Any other questions? I do seem to think the inquiry about getting down to the granular detail is down to the licensing, but I can double check that and confirm that with everyone. I do think there is a functionality to be able to do that. I do think it might just be down to the licensing, so I will confirm that and let everybody know. Any further questions from anybody? No? How's the poll looking, Rachel?
Yeah, we shared the results. So 4 said yes. So we were asking as well, maybe people can share examples of how they've used the Welcome Wizard, maybe put them in the chat. 12 have said no. So I think definitely that's something that we can visit, maybe do another webinar on the Welcome Wizard. But we did actually run one last year, so I'll put the link to that in the chat. And then 2 people have said no, but they are planning to use the Welcome Wizard.
Absolutely, great. One of the key things to know when it comes to doing the Welcome Wizard is obviously you're creating the CMS in the content area of your tenancy. It doesn't actually implement until you add the tile to your page. So you can get an idea of a little bit of a play on how it would actually work. So you can create your CMS page, pop a tile on your admin dashboard to get a feel of how it actually works and see how it affects on your tenancy, so you can get a good play with how it would work and how it looks. It's always worth having a go. But yeah, the key thing to know is it doesn't actually implement on the tenancy until you add that tile. And obviously then the advantage is once it's actually finished, that tile is still there for everybody to actually have a look at and revisit. And brilliant. That's the Welcome Wizard webinar that we did. So fantastic. That's great stuff. Anything further from anyone? No? Well, in that case, then I'll end it there. And I hope you've all found something useful there with the webinar.